Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mita. Good evening.
Good evening. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mita.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mita. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, dear. Good afternoon.
Sir, why did you didn't send the link of the project yesterday?
Today I will do that, dear. Actually, I
Okay, sir.
had yesterday I shared the link on Zoom meetings, and I was very busy yesterday, so that's the reason I was not able to send it to you on your WhatsApp. But today we will be
Sir,
doing second part of that app, okay, and we'll be finishing up with that slider app today. So once we are done
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
are we
completing
going
the
to continue with sliders
Sir,
using today?
let's wait for the remaining
sir, I
students
have to
to take
ask
a few
you
minutes.
something.
Yes, dear, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I actually missed my class yesterday due to some connectivity issues.
Mhm.
So can you send the link of the app we made? And can you
Sure,
just tell a summary of what we did last
sure, I'll
class?
do that. I'll do that, dear. Don't worry about that. I will do that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now with you guys, and so this is the app on which we worked yesterday. So we are done with designing all the screens and defining the codes for all the screens. The only part which is remaining is we haven't defined the codes for these slider components which are present on this main screen. Fine. Now let me show you how this app works. So I'm going to come on the share option. Let's copy this link and let's access this link on 3 different tabs. So we have got 3 different screens, okay, on which we will be working simultaneously. It's a slider app. Slider based app in which we will get to learn how can we work with slider component in this Applab. So this is the screen the user is going to come across when he will access the app on his device for the first time. And for there are 3 screens, one with name colors, second with name family, and third with name main. So in order to access this colors screen, he has to type colors over here in this email field, as well as here in this password field. Also, he has to key in this word colors. And after doing this, he just have to hit this login button, and he's going to come across this beautiful screen. Likewise, he has to do the same thing on this second screen also. So here he has to enter this word family in this email component as well as the password component. And when he will hit this login button, he's going to come across this screen. How can he access the admin panel? He need to enter main in both the fields, and this is how he can access the admin panel. Now, as you can see, the font here, there are 2 drop downs which are getting reflected over here on this screen, but we are not able to see anything over here in these 2 components. So in order to fetch the input for these 2 components, what we have to do, we need to come on this colors screen. Now there is a drop down over here on this screen with name select color. Okay, in order to add colors to this drop down, what we have to do, just a second, I think there is someone waiting in the waiting room. Yeah, now it is fine. So in order to add colors to this color component, we need to come on this colors screen. Okay, and then where is that? And then we need to hit this green color. Suppose if you want to add green color to that drop down, you need to hit this green color component, and then you need to hit this yellow for adding yellow color, this blue for adding blue color, and this red for adding the red color. Now when you will come on this main panel, and if you'll hit this select color named drop down, you will get to see the names of all the colors over here in this drop down. Fine, so that's how you can add the color. Similarly, if you want to add the font family to this drop down, what you have to do, you need to, where is that screen? Yeah, so what you have to do, if you want to add the font families, you just have to click on this you know these names which are getting reflected over here on this screen, like this. Okay, and when you will come here on this main screen and you will hit this drop down, you will get to see the names of all the font families reflecting over here. From where are they coming? They are coming from these two tables. The colors are coming from this table named colors. Okay, and the font family is, the names of the font families are coming from this table named fonts. Okay, so that's how we have coded this app. And besides that, if you will select now this yellow color, the text, the background color of the text area is going to go yellow. If you'll select blue, it will change to blue. If you'll select red, it will change to red. So that's how we have coded this app, and that's how we have connected this text area with this drop down. Now what we are going to do today, we are going to define the code for these three drop down, for these four sliders which you're seeing over here on this screen. And besides, we are going to code for this message box which is getting reflected over here on this main screen. So I'm going to come back on the coding section now. Let me just minimize this thing. Yeah, now it is fine. I need to stop this. Yeah. So now when you will come on this coding screen, this is the whole code you'll get to see. Fine. Now we are going to define the code for this message box which is getting reflected over here on this main screen. So for doing that, I need that toolbox. Okay, and I'm going to make use of this uneven block, putting it over here. Now the ID of this component is message box. Fine. So we need to select the ID of this component first. Like this, we can do it. And you know what I want? I want that whatever I'll type here, it should get reflected over here in this text area. So for doing that, what I can do, I can make use of the set text property, or I can make use of this set property component, right? I can put it over here like this, and what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to set the property of this component, writing pad. So that is the reason I will choose writing pad from this drop down. Fine. And what I'm trying to set, I'm trying to set the text that should get reflected in this writing pad. So that's the reason I need to select text from this second drop down, and where I will get the text from, I will get the text from this message box. So in order to get the text, again I need to use get block element with this set property block, right? Where is that get text? Here, this is the one, and I need to put it here in this third component like this. Fine. Now from this cascading menu, I need to select message box. Now if you will run this, let me make this the default screen. Okay, so that I can access it directly when I will run the app, because now I would like to test these codes which I'm going to define for these components, these slider components, and the one that I've defined for this message box. Let's run this app. Now, this is a screen which I'm going to come across because this is a default screen. Now, if I will type here something, let's type, I'm typing my name. Okay, now it is getting reflected over here, but it is getting reflected after some time. Now you guys have to tell me, how can I get rid of this error? Is there anything I am missing in this code because of which this thing which I'm writing over here?
सर
सर इनपुट क्लिक की जगह से इनपुट होना चाहिए
Why it should be input here? Because this
सर
code
बिकॉज
is,
हम इसमें टेक्स्ट इनपुट
सर
करेंगे कुछ
क्योंकि उसमें
लिखेंगे
इनपुट
you
करना
know
है उसके बाद मतलब
you
हम
know
बार
why
बार
is it
क्लिक नहीं
happening?
करना चाहते,
You know why is it
ऑटोमेटिकली
happening?
जब input होता है तो चाहिए।
Absolutely right. The
नो
text is going to get reflected only if you will click on this message box. Then only whatever you have written, this that will get reflected over here in this text area. So we don't want that to happen. We want that whatever we are writing at the same time, it should get reflected over here in this text area. Whatever we are writing in this message box, at the same time, it should get reflected in the text area. So remember the difference between click and input. Okay, remember this difference. Now, instead of selecting click over here, what is happening? Yeah. Instead of selecting click over here, we will go for input. Right. Now, if you will type here something, let's run this app and let's start typing here something. So I'm going to type my name again, GC. Are you able to get this point? Is this thing clear to every one of
यस
you?
सर
Okay, what
यस
is the
यस
सर,
सर
difference
नाउ इट्स
between input
गोइंग
and click?
एज
So
इट्स
what?
वर्किंग।
सर
Absolutely
इस
right.
गो इन रियल टाइम
Absolutely right. It is getting
sir,
reflected in real time. Okay.
if we
Now,
sir, if we make a table, it will also get recorded. So whatever you have written can also get recorded. Can we do that?
we can do that also, dear. But we don't want to do it right now. We will go with this only. See, everything is working fine. Now, if you want to change the background color, you guys can make use of this, option. Okay, and if you want to set the font family for this this text which is getting reflected over here in this text area, so you guys can make use of this drop down. Right, the font is also getting changed. Are you able to see the changes over here?
यस
Are you
सर
all able to
यस
see the
सर,
यस
changes?
सर
Yes, sir.
Okay,
यस
यस
सर।
so
सर
that's how I have connected these two drop downs with this text area. Now let's talk about this slider, which I have defined over here on this main screen for setting the font size. This is for setting the font family for the text which is going to get reflected over here in this text area. And this is for setting the font size. How can I control the font size of the text of this text area? So for doing that, again, I need to make use of this on even block. Let me first show you the properties of this slider. For that, we need to come on this designing part, and when you will click on this slider, you'll get to see all the properties of the slider over here. So it works on number. Remember this thing, slider works on numbers. So at present the value of slider is 50. The minimum value of the slider is 0. Okay, so if you will do it like this, if you will shift it towards the left hand side, so here the value is equal to 0, and if you will shift it towards this side, here the maximum value is going to get assigned to whatever thing you are implementing it on. So what is the maximum value of this slider? See, the maximum value is 100. If you want to increase the maximum value, you can just do it like this, or you can assign some value like this over here, okay, to this maximum value component of this slider. Now we are going to check out how can we connect this component with the text of this text area. So we are going to make use of this on even block, okay, which we have defined over here. And for what is the idea of this slider? It is font size. So we need to select font size from here. Okay, now instead of this click,
We are
what shall
using
I select? Okay,
change.
let it be click only
चेंज
for now. Let it be click. Okay, And if you want to change the font size of the text which is getting reflected, or which will get reflected over here when you will type something in this message box, so you are again setting the property of the text, right? So that's the reason we need to make use of this set property component, and we need to place it over here inside this on event block like this. Okay, now what is the ID of this text area? It is writing pad, so we need to select writing pad from here. Okay, and in this second drop down, what is the thing that we are required to select? Now you guys have to tell me
Text
that.
size.
What is
Sir,
it?
size, font size.
Text
Font
Sir,
Absolutely
size.
right.
font
Font
size.
Font
size.
Absolutely
size.
right. It should be font size, because we are trying to set the font size. Just a second. Let me just stop sharing the screen. I think there is some issue. Yeah, now it is fine. I hope my screen is visible to every one of you right now.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Visible.
Okay, so it is font size which we are trying to set. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to, from where are we going to get this number? Because
Sir,
we
get
want to
number
We
connect.
can
from
use
font size.
get number
Get
Absolutely
from
right.
number.
font size.
Get
Get
number
Get
from
number
No,
font
number.
from
size.
not
font
not from font
size.
Get
size. See,
number.
the name of the slider is font size, right? Okay, that's why you are saying get number from font size. Absolutely right. So what we are going to do, we are going to replace this number with get number property. And from where would we like to get the number from? We would
Font
like it
size slider.
Font size.
from the font
Font
size.
size slider.
Okay, now let's check out whether we'll be able to get the desired result or not from this code which we have defined over here in this workspace. So again, I'm running this app, and here I'm going to type something like, let's say coding class 17. And if you will now shift this towards this side, now I'm able to see the changes over here. But you know, the changes are visible to me when I am releasing the click. What should I change over here so that I can see the changes in
Input.
real time?
Sir,
Input.
Sir,
change.
Change.
change
Sir,
the
change.
change.
Chalo, let's make it change. Okay, well, first let's check it with change whether we'll be able to get the required desired result or not from this. So again, I need to write down something over here. I'm writing down my name. No, from change, it is not happening here.
Yeah,
Okay,
so sir, we should put
let's change
input,
it to
right?
input. Let's change it to input and check out whether we'll be able to get the desired result or not. 17th coding. Okay, and I'm going to increase this size of the screen, and let's see. Now I am able to see the desired result. Is it looking cool? See,
Yes,
now
sir.
is it
Yes.
finer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's how you can
Yes.
control the font size of this text area, of the text which is getting reflected in this text area with the help of this slider over here. So now we have connected this slider with the text of this text area.
Sir, what about the red, green, and blue
I'm doing
sliders?
that. I'm doing that here. Now, if suppose, see, there is a background color which is getting reflected over here on this text area. If you want to change the background color, what you can do, you can select the color from this drop down, and you can see the changes over here happening. Now, if suppose you want to see that every color is made up of three things: red part, red, green, and blue. I hope you
Sir,
guys are aware.
RGB.
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 I
RGB
hope you guys
vector.
are aware about this thing. Every color
Yes,
has
Sir.
sir.
three components:
Yes,
red,
sir.
green, and blue. Now, how can we control those three things? Okay, so we are going to make use of these sliders which I have placed over here for controlling those three things. So first of all, I'm going to define the code for this red slider. Again, I am going to place this on event block over here. Now, what is the idea of this component? It is red slider. So I
Red
can just select
slider.
Red
red
slider.
slider from here. Where is
Sir,
that
and then
red slider?
input.
No, where is that red slider, dear? I'm trying to find out. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, and here I need to change it to input,
Input.
right?
Input.
So I'm changing it to input. Okay, now let's see how can we control. See, we are trying to change the RGB value for the background color of this text area. So what is the block I need to define inside?
RGBA block.
What is the name of the
Sir,
block?
RGB block.
Not that, dear.
RGB
What we are trying to do,
set
first of all,
Sir,
you have to
set
think.
property.
Sir, set
Set
property.
property, absolutely right.
set
We need
Set
to
property,
property.
first make use
because
of.
we can set the property of message box,
It's not because of
writing
that.
pad.
We are trying to set the property of a component. So that is the reason we are using the set property. Okay. Now let's set the prop. What is the idea of this component? It is writing pad. So we are going to select writing pad from this drop down. Where is that writing pad? Yeah, this is the one. And what we are trying to do, we are trying to set the background color, right? So in order to play with the background color, we can select background color from this in the second drop down. And what should be placed here in this third component? So as you can see, there
Red
is a block with
number,
name
red slider.
RGB. There is a block with name RGB which you can find here in this UI controls part of toolbox. So what you have to do, you guys have to just drop it here in the third component like this. Just a second, I think it is not visible to me from here. Yeah, now it is fine. So I'm going to drop it over here in this third component like this. Okay, now there are four numbers which are getting reflected over here. What are these four numbers? So first is for R, second is for G, and third is for B. I don't want to use this A. It is for setting the ratio. I don't want to use it. So I can eliminate it like this. Fine. And now in order to get the number for this red color component, what
So we can
Sir,
should
use
we
I
can
get
do?
use
number,
get
red
number.
slider.
Absolutely right. Absolutely perfect answer, dear. We guys can make use of get number. And what is the idea of that red color
Red
component?
slider.
Red
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 slider.
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 Absolutely right. So we guys can make use of the red slider. Okay. Similarly, we can copy this whole code.
Sir, we can copy and paste for this green and blue.
For green and blue also, we can do the same thing. We can paste it for this blue color, red, blue, and then it is green, right? Then it is green. Let me just hide this toolbox and let's work on this now. Now the idea of this blue slider is blue slider, and the slider with which we can set the green color is green
Green
slider,
slider.
right? Let's now convert it back into block-based coding and check out whether we'll be able to get the desired output or not through this code which we have defined over here in this workspace. Let's run this app and check that out. So are we able to get the desired result from this or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We're able to, no? And
Yes,
let's change the
sir. We are
color
able
to
to.
green. See, we are able to see the desired changes over here. Now, if I will do the same thing for this green, why am I not able to see the desired output?
Because
That's
the red
because we
value is
cannot make the
high.
code.
We haven't defined the code for the reds for this green slider and blue slider yet. That is the reason. Absolutely correct. So what we can do, we can just copy this whole code, not like this. What is happening? Just a second. Let me just convert it back into text-based coding. Not able to copy this code actually. Yeah, we can just copy
Excuse
this
me, sir.
code. Yes, dear.
Sir, can we use one on event block for three elements by adding and option?
That won't be possible, dear. That would, we can do that also, but for that we will have to use the if loop. Okay, you guys can make use of the if loop for doing the same. But why to go for a hard way if we have such a good option available for us here? It is blue slider RGB. Now it is fine, I think. Let's now check whether the app, whether these components are going to give us a desired output or not. See, it is changing. This one is also giving us the desired output, and this one is also giving us the desired output. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to reset this app, and whatever tables are there present on the data browser connected to this app, I'm going to delete them first. Now I'm going to run this app on 3 different browsers. Control N. See, for opening a new tab, what you guys can do, you guys can click
Control
Control
N.
and N
Control
together.
T.
Control and N together.
Sir, we can also use Control T.
Control T.
Yes, sir.
It is for opening a new tab. For opening a new window, sorry. For opening a new window, you guys can
Yes, sir. Control
hit
N.
Control N. Okay, I need to make this screen 1 the default screen, right? Because right now main screen is the default screen. I would like this to get visible to the user when he'll access the app on his device through this link. Okay, and here I go. Control N for new screen. Control T is for new tab. Absolutely right.
Mama.
Beta, please put yourself on mute. Okay, here I'm going to type colors. Here also I'm going to type colors, and here I'm going to type family. And for accessing the main screen, what should we type here in this email? And
Main.
absolutely right, it is main that we need to enter here in these 2 fields. We're able to access the main screen. Why we're not able to access the family screen? Is there any mistake? I mean, yeah, there are double L. Fine. Now in order to add the fonts, what we can do, we can click over here. So when you'll click on this drop down, you will see this Arial font getting reflected over here. Likewise, if you want to add Georgia, so you can add it like this. See, Georgia is now getting reflected over here. Likewise, you can do
It
the same
means
thing.
it's working like a real-time application.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right here. Palatino, Times. See, now you'll be able to see Palatino and Times also getting reflect. Times we haven't clicked, right? I think now we'll be able to see Times also. Yeah, Times is also getting reflected over here. Now, if you want to add some colors, so what you can do, you can select the colors from this screen. Let's select green color. So see, the green is getting reflected over here. Likewise, if you'll select this, if you'll hit this yellow color, you will see this yellow color also, I think. Yeah, yellow is also getting reflected. And likewise, let's add blue and red also. Okay, so we, as you guys know, we guys have made use of the label boxes in order to define these components over here. Fine. Now let's check these components whether they are working fine or not. So Gaurav Kumar Jain. This one is working perfectly fine. If you want to increase the font size, so that's how you can do it. Okay, so this slider is also working perfectly fine. If you want to change the blue color, blue part of the background color which is getting reflected in this text area, so you can make use of this slider. So this is also working fine. This one is also giving us the desired output, and this one is also giving us a desired output. You want to change the color, so you can make use of this drop down. If you want to change the font family, so you can make use of this slider, this sorry, drop down. Fine, so everything is working perfectly fine. Now let's do one thing. Let's access this main screen on one more tab and check whether we'll be able to get the desired output on that screen also or not. So here I'm going to type main and main here also. Let's log in into this app. So in order to fetch the names of the fonts, we can hit this drop down and see all the fonts are getting reflected over here. In order to fetch the names of the colors, we can use this drop down. See, so everything is working perfectly fine, I think. Coding class 17. See, this one is also working fine. This is also great. So we can make use of this application on more than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 devices at the same time. Fine. So this is
It
what.
means just like a real-time application.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. Okay, now
Like we
let
can
me just.
use Google on many tabs.